Hi guys.
Hi, Paul and Cheyanne here.
Hi.
Wow. Sunday, race 22. Running of the Bulls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That was a really close finish, though, I want to say. That's the closest that's been in quite a while between our Bull boys.
Yeah.
Very close.
As we were saying before, Will, he's back in it again. He's showing his form again. He's got his head in the game and he's back there. So
Rhonda and Charlotte were on fire.
Yes, they absolutely were. So just on that, so what we had Chaz came third. So B-Fiend first, Will came second, and the Chaz came third.
And I must say, Chaz made some pretty awesome power passes.
Oh,
too.
did he what?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just does what he does. His racecraft is amazing, and again, started a little bit further back and came through the field and got up there. So yeah. And also on the podium, James,
shout out to our boy James. He is part of the Triple Eight team who me and Dad have had the privilege of having some cool chats with, and because he was at Topor, so he was really cool. It's good to see him up on the podium with the boys, because I think that was his first podium with the team too, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, we had the second time now we've done a garage tour with Red Bull Ampol Racing, and James this time he was taking the tour, and it was just really good talking with him. Again, all the teams have got really cool people in them, but we just had the privilege talking to James and and what he shared and stuff. It was really cool. So
yeah, cool insight of.
So we now have a little internal thing where we do a spot the James.
Yes, and our Aussie correspondent Katie also is in on this, and it's really funny because over the period of watching the broadcast, she was messaging me and I was messaging her, and I was like, "Spotted the James," and she's like, "Dang it, you got it before me." So that was quite funny.
Yes. And I think we mentioned this one, I certainly mentioned this one when we were talking about our appearance on Apex Hunters, the freight train appeared again.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Like, literally, for I want to say the first, maybe 20 laps? I want to say, right? Am I right in saying 20 laps or just under 20 laps?
It was around about 22, I think it was, because the freight train, it was literally a freight train of cars, not much movement happening in it. And it wasn't really until Waters kind of broke out and actually pitted, and then that kind of started the tsunami, soon after, of the others starting to do that. And kind of good move on his behalf, because obviously getting the undercut there and getting out in some clean air.
Yep.
He was actually, obviously, with having clean air, he was getting some good times in. And
he managed to catch Broc when Broc finally pitted. Yeah. But then, obviously, Broc being on fresher tyres, he still managed to catch him. So, and he maintained his lead.
Broc did a Broc.
Yeah. Yes, he's very good. But it was also very interesting in that, because you saw the different strategies come into play. Because it was we were all like, okay, why did, I think Maddie pitted early too. So when Cam and Maddie and Kostecki, I think possibly a few of the teams, a domino effect slightly, but then Red Bull stayed out a little bit longer, and it paid off because both him and Will managed to get up the top. So
interestingly enough, though, you notice that Will's comments later on where he was a little bit
miffed
about
in the heat of the battle, as he likes to say.
I know. Yeah. They all have their team. They have their discussions before racing. If different things happen, this is how we're going to play it. They all have that understanding. But look, race drivers want to win, and even against their own teammates, and it's all about that. And so it should be. But the call was done as a team. B-Fiend got to come in first, and then soon after, Will came in and got his pit. So,
and then on that, you saw for quite a few laps, that margin between him and Broc was going up and down and up and down, and it was him getting closer, but then Broc pulling away and kind of hitting that sweet spot, which was really interesting too, because again, I don't think we've seen that with Broc and Will in quite a while, and it was quite funny because I think was it one of the boys in the commentary team, was it Jess or was it Scaife that said it was like Oscar and Lando?
Oh.
Like the competition between Oscar and Lando with them like butting heads a little bit, and then I think Will was like, yeah, no, but we haven't crashed yet. Don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it was Scaife. He said that.
Yes.
Yeah, she actually had some sensible words this time around rather than his...
Oh, yeah. The weird words that come out of him.
Rather than his placate from the last one.
I still can't believe he said that.
Oh, I know.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah, someone looked up what that word actually was, but yeah, anyway. Who cares? Ryan Wood back in the top 10 bubble.
So Woody, again, making moves, and like he made an amazing dive on, like, because I think he came out and it was against... Was it De Pasquale and Randall that he was fighting in the end? In those last 2 laps, and he made a massive, awesome move on Randall, and then I think he may have gotten De Pasquale. I can't remember. But like, oh, Woody, my man, amazing.
He's obviously been watching a bit of Chaz, obviously, because it's a similar kind of thing.
Yes, but I think, speaking of that in the bubble, I believe in the the team's championship, Penwright moved up in the garage now, so it goes Red Bull, Penwright, Tickford. So that was cool to see because, you know, we haven't had a lot of movement in the team's championship.
No, that's true.
And it's been quite a few rounds, so that was cool.
Yeah, and I think the way those points are heading, there could be a few more little changes come soon. But if certain teams keep going the way they are.
Yes, and Woody being now in the bubble as well, like we mentioned in the previous episode with Cam and him fighting for that spot. So it's going to be really interesting again to see when we get to the last sprint round to see how that goes again with some of those drivers possibly earning more points and like changing it around a little bit. So it'll be cool to see. But I'm very happy that Woody's now in the top 10 because another Kiwi driver. I'm like, yay!
Yeah, look, don't get us wrong. Beefing, Will, you know, we love you guys, Red Bull Ampol Racing, you know, but we also love our Kiwi racers too. So.
Yes, we do. We root for our Kiwi boys.
Yeah.
Always.
One that I'm actually not seen up there too much, Stanaway. Where is he at? Yes,
I think I saw him pull some good moves in this race, and as well, he's not exactly keeping his nose clean. I will say that. I've seen him get into a few incidents with a few drivers over the last few races, and I think he's kind of a one that we don't really talk about, even in the commentary, and that he's kind of flying a little bit under the radar a little.
He's actually a damn good driver.
Oh,
outside of the V8 Supercars.
He's fast, so that's why, like, me and a friend of the pod, Mitchell, and we often talk about, like, he might be kind of, like, flying under the radar, but you got to watch out for him in Enduros, because that's his bread and butter, and that is his thing. He comes to play when it comes to Enduro season.
I wonder what it is that actually makes the difference in an Enduro versus a sprint with some, you know, racers like him.
I don't know. I'd love to know, actually, but sometimes...
It's like hot and cold, you know, black versus white, they just change and they're this different driver all of a sudden, you know. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so speaking of Kiwi drivers, Jackson Evans.
Yay! He managed to finish a race!
Yeah, he got checkered flags.
Yay!
We are so
well done,
happy.
Jackson. We're proud of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we know how hard it's been over the last few rounds, and then the last few races you haven't exactly had a good run. So, woohoo, go Jackson.
Yeah, boy, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so now that we've seen this racing and we're seeing that there is some movement happening, let's have a look at this movement. So let's have a look at the championships now and how that's looking.
Yes.
So first of all, I think we're going to look at the Drivers' Championship and let's see how that's stacking up.
Okay, so bear with, technical. Okay, so we have...
Because it is fascinating.
Obviously, Feeney's got a lead of 1,759 points. Then Will has now taken over Maddie's spot back in P2 in it. And he's got 220 points to try and get Broc. And then we've got Maddie down in third. Cam Waters is in fourth. Mozzie's in fifth. Kosticki's in sixth. De Pasquale is in seventh. Randall's in eighth. Andre's in 9th, and then we've got Ryan Wood in 10th. So cool to see 2 of the Kiwis in the top 10. But again, in that bubble, I want to say just from the 10 down to maybe like 13th, we've got Hill, Allen, and Percat. So that is a really interesting amount because Kai is so underrated, I want to say, because he is really showing his colours at the moment. Like, he's managing to put it in the top 10s. He's doing really well his race finishes. And then we've got Nick, who has been in this game for quite a while and can be an underdog.
And we've seen him on the podium. You know, he does this random stuff.
Yeah.
You know, he's not lost it.
And obviously Cam Hill, incredible this, like, run he's having this year. But also, like, we've got names who are further down, like Reynolds, Courtney, Davidson, and that, like, who, you know, they could still pull a rabbit out of the hat, like, you know, and put on a win, and that's going to make them, like, jump up.
I think ones we're going to see on the move here, I think we're going to see Ryan Wood. I think we're going to see his numbers come up more because the way he's going, the way he's performing, I think we're going to see the movement there.
Yeah.
James Courtney, as I already mentioned, you know, he's on fire this year. It's his sunset year.
Well, yeah, he's 18th.
And look, I think we're going to see his numbers come up a bit as well because he seems to just turn the tap on somehow.
Yeah, but the fact that Kai as well is in 12th, he's come up quite a few. So, and regards to teams who, like we said just before, so obviously we've got Red Bull, and then Penrite is now second with 970 points behind Red Bull. Now, Monster Castrol, which is Tickford, they are now in 3rd, and then we've got Walkinshaw in 4th. Now, this I always mention to you.
Yeah.
It surprises me that Walkinshaw isn't higher than that because they are such a consistent team. Because Ryan and Mozzie seem to always be somewhat in the top 10. So that bit there confuses me.
I think it is about consistency, but I think Cam has been slightly higher, probably
and
slightly
Randall
more often.
too, actually. Now I think about it, But then then it's in 5th we've got Dick Johnson Racing, the Shelby Power Team, and then we've got BJR in 6th, and then we've got Team 18 in 7th, Matt Stone in 8th, Premier, and then Erebus. And that's the top 10 which is very interesting.
It is.
So that is that for now.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the racing, that you got to watch it. We certainly did, and that's our little few words to mention after it. But that's all for now. So I'm going to say that's all from him.
And all from her, and from daughter.
And dad.
Bye, guys.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Stop! Wait! Smash the like button, just like Cam Waters likes to smash into other race cars.
Hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications because you don't want to miss out on this amazing content we have.